scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek. Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul and seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary...
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Parris. It has been a while since I had done a blood talk video, and I just want to get into what genre I realized I really like to write. So if you have not been here before, hi, I am an author. I write mainly horror and dark fiction and fantasy, mostly Gothic Lit. I have realized recently, thanks to a fellow goth writer on Twitter, that unlike my contemporary authors that I see on Twitter, I myself am not a contemporary romance writer, urban fantasy writer, anything like that. I really love writing Gothic Lit. American literature defines it as the darkest form of dark romanticism in its extreme expressions of self-destruction and sin, involving sheer terror, personal torment, graphic morbidity, madness, and the supernatural, which is exactly what I write. And I had no idea I wrote Gothic Lit until I studied some Gothic Lit in college. I had no clue. So yeah, I've been writing my Dark World series, which has a lot of those themes, very heavy on self-reflection, mental illnesses, just an overarching theme of dread and terror and horror and monsters, and there are scary parts. It's designed to scare you, etc. So knowing that, I've been trying to fit in to what people on Twitter have been saying they want to read. But of course, that comes with a lot of, well, you can't do that because things change so quickly now, especially with the internet. Like when my books were first coming out on Tumblr, the first book was already published, but it wasn't out yet. I mean, it wasn't published, it was done like in production and everything, but it wasn't published yet, and it was coming out. And one of the first things people said was, we're only reading books with black characters on the cover. My books, as you can see, have white characters on the cover. I'm a black author, but that apparently didn't matter because I had to have black characters on the cover in order to be read. It was very like disheartening because books take so long to go from like writing, editing to publish that there's no way people can keep up with the current demands of what social media or people, because that's a very small subset of what an audience will actually want. So I was disheartened when I saw that on Tumblr. I was like, well, you know, my books are just coming out. Why won't you support me because you want to read the type of work I'm writing and not because I have black characters on the cover? There are black characters in my books. You don't see that because I have white characters on my cover. I was not in charge of the cover as it is in publishing. I've said that before in previous videos, whatever. Yeah, I write Gothic Lit, and it's so refreshing to know that, to have that like literally defined and solidified. If you don't know, I've been writing a short story kind of turning into a novel now on my Patreon for patrons. Last Halloween, I wrote the first part of it. It is called whatever it's called, I can't remember right now. I'll put up a picture of it here. It is about a Haitian servant taken from a family as a child to live with her white owners, or people, I guess, in 16th century, 17th century London, England. And she uncovers a new world because of that. She meets an alluring Haitian vampire who turns her into a vampire, obviously, because it's my story, hello. And a lot of these dark themes ensue, which is what I really love to write. This is written in first person, which I am realizing that I really enjoy. Like, I love first person so much. It's so much fun to write. I find it easier to write in than in third person, which I have been for my Dark World series. I think I'm going to continue writing in first person. I think I'm going to put a break on judgment and put that to the side for now, because contemporary fiction is fun. I had a lot of fun writing it. It was interesting. Trying to make it a capital R romance, however, was kind of troublesome because I do not go into sex or romance that much in my books. Romance, yes. Sex, no. And I know the theme now, or what I'm seeing now on social media, is to go all in on romance. If you're a capital R romance writer, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Show the romance, show the sex. I believe that I don't think I'm comfortable writing sex or writing those themes. I am more toward the action, the mental state of my characters, the ambiguity, the sense of foreboding that is always in all of my books. I like exploring different genres, yes, but I'm realizing that in doing so, I'm doing myself a disservice, because if I have a strength, it's up to me to work on that strength. It's not that I can't write anything else, it's just that I was writing these different stories to try to fit in with what everybody else is writing, and I don't write as fast as everybody else. I cannot write a book in 3 months or 6 months or 7 months. It takes me at least a good year of solid writing to finish a book from start to finish and be comfortable with it enough to send it off to someone. I am just that type of writer. So if you're a patron, the short stories I have given have been like spur of the moment, last minute, I'm gonna get this done in like a month type deals. Not that I am not that type of writer. I take a very long time to write, and I think it's for the best because I want to put out my best work. And not that people can't put out their best work if they write it fast, it's just I prefer to write, to use all the themes I write about. I want to give it thought, I want to give it breath, I want to give it, you know, the prose it desires, I want to give it everything, and the Gothic Lit demands all these things. You have the great, you know, Gothic Lit that's heralded, you have Dracula, you have Jane Eyre, you have like a whole bunch of these different Gothic Lit, and I love the genre. It's fun, and it's really interesting to learn that what I've been writing for the past 11-12 years has been Gothic Lit, and I didn't even know it. I've just been following the tropes, and I've been following everything without even realizing it. So I think that's pretty cool. So that's what I've been doing. I've been working on the Haitian vampire story. It is blossoming into a full novel, I believe, and it was originally going to be in the Patricia Lauren Berdu story, but thanks to Rhiannon Frater, a great author and a great friend of mine, we talked about me writing about a Haitian vampire like years ago, and I kept it in the back of my head and decided, hey, let me start writing it. So that's what I'm doing, and it's fun. Of course, I'm exploring, you know, the state of being Black while writing it. I'm giving the character her own voice. She's finding her own voice, just like I'm finding my own voice, and, you know, in terms of like where she is in her life and where I am in my life, and I am not doing a self-insert. She is not me. We're not the same person. I do not write myself into my books. Of course, there are bits and pieces of myself in my books, and people I meet in my books, but I am not making. I never will make myself. I think I am the most boring person. I am not as interesting as I may seem online, and I don't think anybody is. But yeah, that's where I am right now with my books. This is not uploaded before Halloween. I want to say a happy Halloween to my viewers, my readers. If you're on Patreon, I love you so much for sticking with me. I, as you can tell, have more videos coming and more short stories coming and more writing coming, so please look out for that. And you also still get that discount on my merch for forever. Like if you're a patron, you always have that free shipping discount on all of my merch forever. Everybody else, you have until 31st, and if this is past 31st, I'm sorry, it's over. You have to pay shipping on top of the cost of the thing. So it is, I do want to say a quick message for all of my fellow witches out there. I know a full moon is coming on near around Halloween, and I know the last spell I did with you guys was a money jar. I don't want to do another spell so soon for the channel. I think I want to make this like a special moment, or like just talking mostly about magic and witchcraft and how you can do your practice for this like moment, since it is the Halloween fall harvest season. I want to just say that it is a great time to take stock of the past year, as shitty as it may have been for you, and write down your goals, write down what you'd like, write down what you've learned about yourself, and put focus on what you do want. If you can't figure that out, like I can't figure out what I want to do with myself for the life of me, and I've been stuck in my dwelling for months and I'm losing my mind, I have been taking a breath lately and just breathing and not thinking at all, just breathing and letting myself be present in my body, because I've been running from myself, going on Twitter all the time, watching movies, like not ever just sitting and chilling with myself, and I owe it to myself to do that. I think it's very important. If you don't do a grandiose ritual for this holiday season, I suggest just getting in touch with yourself is the best thing you can do. That is the basis of all witchcraft. That's the basis of my spirituality. It should be, I feel like it should be the basis of everybody's spirituality. That is the greatest ritual anybody can do, and that's a quick little witch tidbit from me to you guys. Just breathe. Breath is where it all starts, and you can't do greater magic or, you know, affect things if you are not in a calm state of, and breathing helps you get into trance, breathing helps you connect with yourself and your chakras, like breathing helps so many different things, and that's just the base. That's the most basic I'm gonna get on witchcraft. I will do another video on witchcraft absolutely in the coming months, hopefully, but as for now, this was it. I write Gothic Lit. It's so awesome to say, and it's so great to not confine myself to other genres that don't necessarily fit what I write. The Dark World series is absolutely gothic literature. It's absolutely, I was calling it dark fantasy. It is dark fantasy, but it's also absolutely gothic lit. There are scary moments, there's action, there's a lot of brooding, there's a lot of dread, there's a lot of like, what am I? You know, the vampires are dealing with what they are, there's monsters, it's gothic lit. And I'm so happy to finally say that and like know that and like trust it and move forward from here. I'm a gothic lit writer, and I will see you guys for the next Blood Talk. Bye.